Okay, you guys, welcome back. I decided to come outside to do my video. Excuse it if it's loud, and excuse me, I've been up redoing my hair. I ended up twisting it instead of I took those braids out and ended up twisting it, so I got like 3 hours of sleep. But we're gonna redo this reintroduction video, and excuse my nails as well. My nieces did my nails, but I do have nails coming in from TikTok, so I'm trying to take it off. I noticed that the video was going in the wrong direction during the video. I was like thinking, if I decided to tell people what I went through, what I kind of did, it would sum up why I am the way I am, because a lot of people said I changed or I'm different. And I'm gonna reroute this because I do know I'm used to being the villain. You know what I'm saying? I'm used to owning up to everything that I did and just taking full responsibility and just really not saying nothing too much. I got pregnant with King. We were still doing YouTube. We decided to sign with my sister and try and change, the way our lives were going. And when King was 8 months, I decided to separate. And so we also kind of fell off of YouTube. And then I went on to kind of do my own thing. I found out I was pregnant again. While having King, I kind of just lollygagged. I had him everywhere I went, but we were still young, so I just was doing whatever, Got pregnant again, found out I was having twins. So we started getting serious about YouTube, or tried to. We were starting to get serious about our lives, and I got more serious. He was also working a job, meaning we were serious about stability. He ended up working a job, and that was during my pregnancy. Then we decided to stick to YouTube during the pregnancy at the end. And for a while, he was doing YouTube, and then I decided I was going to move to Tennessee. There was just too much, too many indifferences between us, so I decided I was going to move to Tennessee. I lost my best friend in between then, and it was like right before I had to move. I got accustomed to the single life, meaning, just me and the 3 babies, being away from everybody and being in our own home, nobody else to pick up my slack. So I was close to my dad and his wife, and later down the road there just started becoming differences between us as well. And I know when I get on YouTube, people don't like when I'm saying things, and I guess there was a situation where I made a video saying I don't get help, and they felt like it was kind of that was a little personal, because then people were like, well, you have your parents, why aren't they helping you? And they were, but I was not, so it was just some miscommunication on my behalf, and I was already very stressed out, so I did take that out on them, and I decided to come back home because it was just too much after a while. I did go to Florida for my birthday, and all the babies had good birthdays. And then their dad also came back. He moved to another state, came back to our home state, and we co-parented after that. I started working. I fell in love. I crashed out about that man and everything else. I got into an accident during that time. The jobs I worked in factories. I worked factories and home care, healthcare during that time. And then I got my CNA license while I was out on bond. It was just a lot. So I was just trying to maintain and get my ducks in a row. I ended up going to jail because I missed the court date. They ended up issuing a no contact order for 121 days between me and my kids. And to my knowledge, the kids were being kept from me. He says that he was waiting for me to go to court, but I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, because now, present day, I was out on house arrest as well during the 121 days. And I worked at IHOP towards the end of house arrest. I bounced around on house arrest from house to well, from place to place. I did 2 places. I went to drug and alcohol classes. All while doing that, I've been chasing God. I see my boys now. Some things are aligning in my life. I feel way, way closer to God. I feel like I can understand, you know, what I'm doing and what I'm going through a little bit more. I believe that while chasing God, I found humility, especially when my best friend passed. When he passed, that just crushed my soul. So I try to appreciate people more and give them more chances, and it's not working out too well, you know. I'm abusing my heart. I need to have more discernment. But I am back to decentering men out of the picture. Baby daddies, boyfriends, daddies, all of it. All of it. Could you guys believe that I did my eyebrows with Q-tips? I broke my eyebrow brush, and so I had to use Q-tips. But I look so good. I did my makeup halfway. Oh, it's gonna start raining. I've been following God and doing my own journey, and I feel like it made me a little bit softer. But now I know what I'm doing, and I have more discernment, so things will get better. That was kind of like a quick run through because I just don't want to, you know, talk about a man anymore and what a man did to me, because men ain't did shit but get out my way. I'm currently sewing. I just made this out of a pajama top. She's so cute. And I would have to say that, so ignore my bed. It's like 6 o'clock, I think, 5 o'clock. And I just got out the shower. Like, I've been doing stuff since 9 a.m. I've been moving big old office stuff, and I just got out the shower. There's my towel, and then I had to move all my covers and pillows because I'm sewing. Life is a mess right now, but I'm making it work. Anyway, sewing is part, and ignore my edges. Obviously, I did this side yesterday, and sewing has been my love again. I fell back in love with it after not doing it for some time. And I am making pieces that I can wear, so that makes me happy. And I listen to music again. I wasn't much into music either. It wasn't making me happy because it just reminded me of too many memories. But I'm one of those people who like think too deeply. I feel too deeply, so you know, it takes me time to get back in motion. But once I get back in motion, baby, I'm unstoppable. And as you can see, I did my makeup yesterday, so that's probably going to be one of the things I start doing again, is doing my makeup and keeping up with my hair again. I have some other things working in my private life, so it's getting better. Like, I have a testimony to tell and share, but life is getting better. I'm getting better. You know, I'm still struggling with things daily, but I would say that I'm on a good path. So, and I'm also living answered prayers right now. So going forward in the future, I will not be asking God to help me with things that I prayed myself out of. I will not be going back to things that I had to pray myself out of. I won't be reacting to things that I prayed out of, so I can further my journey with God, and that I can move past all these lessons, because I just recently noticed that the more I pray and ask God for certain things, or pray for certain things, and, you know, ask for questions, and he answers them and he shows me signs, the more he probably is getting frustrated. Like, child, what else do you want me to do? Do you want me to come and sit on your bed? And quite frankly, I'm one of them where that would be nice. So I've been trying to take what I get and interpret what it is, because sometimes there's subtle signs. But I have prayed myself into this peace and wholesomeness that I'm living through right now. It's kind of hard to complain, besides it being too hot. Anyway, it's kind of hard to complain right now because of how much faith I have in God and myself. And then also because, you know, I prayed for this mindset that I have. I prayed for God to like strengthen my mind and, you know, soften my heart up. So the things that I'm living through right now, they may not seem big to everybody else, but they're way bigger to me, because 3 months ago, probably even a month ago, so I was not where I am today. So amen for that. And sometimes I take a few steps back. You know, tomorrow may not feel so much like today, or feel as good as today, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday or the day before or the year before. So I'm just grateful. And I'm moving with grace in this journey. So when it looks like arrogance and it looks like, oh, she thinks she all of that, it's because I know who's bagging me up. I have God on my side. I literally, I was in the hole for a week, 11 days, 10 days. And let me tell you what, I had only my Bible and a Sudoku book that I wasn't even supposed to have it. I snuck it in there. But that's all I had in that hole. I really doubled down and sat down with God. And even on the outside, like out here in this real world, there's not much that can deter me from making sure I get my head in that Bible. Or I can go to church every Sunday, watch sermons, services during the week. But one thing I do have is a strong God. And with him, everything is possible. So yes, my arm hurts. I'm done with this. I hope you guys enjoyed it.